Can I offer you guys a taco? Are you guys spicy people?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna heat you up. So I've been noticing something, and that is that people are, for whatever reason, very nervous about scrambling eggs. I think that everyone thinks in order to get a really nice, supple, soft scramble, you have to belabor a pot and stir for 8-10 minutes. No, I'm gonna teach you how to make fast and dirty, very soft, large curd scrambled eggs in 30 seconds. And we're gonna put them into tortillas, we're gonna top them with a charred scallion salsa, and we're gonna have ourselves some breakfast tacos. So this is the breakfast tacos with charred scallion salsa and fried pepitas from the book. For this recipe, you will need a nice bunch of scallions, 8 eggs, or as many eggs as you want to scramble, 1 bunch of cilantro, corn or flour tortillas, small ones, these are tacos, pepitas for a little crunch, hot sauce of your choice, butter for scrambling, salt, and some limes, and olive oil. And we're gonna use this to fry the pepitas, and we're gonna use it for the salsa. We're actually gonna use 1 pan for this whole thing. It's a large nonstick pan. We're gonna make the salsa in it. We're gonna fry the pepitas in it. We're gonna scramble the eggs in it. And then we're gonna char the tortillas right on the burners. All right, so frying pepitas. You could totally just throw these in the oven and toast them, but instead, because why not, we're gonna fry them in a little bit of olive oil, and they're gonna sort of puff in the olive oil and get super crispy and crunchy. And we're gonna wait till we hear them sizzle and pop. Oh boy, here comes clumsy again. Okay, while these sizzle, I'm gonna cut the scallions in half because I can see right now that they are big and long and they're not gonna fit in this skillet. People don't use scissors enough in the kitchen. Look at this. Woo! You hear them popping? Did you hear that? That's why we fry them in olive oil instead of just throwing them in the oven. It's a puffed pepita versus a toasted pepita, and I just think they're more special. And then the cool thing is that the olive oil that's left over is gonna be flavored with pepitas, and that's what we're gonna make the salsa out of. So we're kind of doubling down on pepita flavor in this recipe. We don't want them to burn, so I'm using a slotted spoon. Transfer them and leave behind the oil. I'm gonna season them with a little bit of salt, just give them a toss, and then we're gonna let them cool. And then we're gonna return this skillet to high heat. Okay, so we're sizzling. Scallions cook pretty quickly, and we're gonna cook them over high heat so that they get really well charred. Look at that, it's already charred. Season your scallions with salt as they cook. And give them a little tossy toss. But here's the cool thing. You can eat an entire scallion raw. So if we cook them all at the same time and the greens get really wilty and sweet and soft, but the whites retain a little bit of their crunch and their onioniness, that's a good thing because we get a little bit of raw scallion and a little bit of cooked scallion all in the salsa. Little crispies over here. And don't be afraid of like a good char. You kind of want to burn them, to be honest. That's like delicious, deep flavor. We're here for that. All right, so while these cool on the cutting board over here, I'm gonna remove the ends of the cilantro, and then I'm finally chopping the stems. The stems of cilantro has just as much flavor, if not more, than the leaves themselves. We want it to kind of like meld into this salsa a bit. So that's going in the bowl. And then you're also gonna finally chop these. Okay, chopped scallions going in with the cilantro. I'm gonna brighten it up with lime juice and hot sauce, and then add olive oil until it's really saucy. It's kind of somewhere between like a salsa verde and a Mexican salsa. It's a little neither here nor there, but that's okay. So there's a lot going on in this salsa. And when you're adding a lot of olive oil, you want to make sure it's an olive oil that you really like the flavor of, but also one that's not going to overpower everything else. So I'm using California olive ranch. This is the smooth and balanced medium one, which I think is great because it lets the cilantro and the lime and the scallions all shine, and it's kind of a great like really medium note to tie it all together. So then you make this as spicy as you want. I don't want it spicy. I'm adding more hot sauce. So now it's kind of like a drizzleable, chunky salsa. This is where we learn how to scramble eggs in a efficient and respectful way to the eggs. These are going to be very soft, large curd eggs, and they're gonna cook in the blink of an eye. So we're beating them in a bowl until they're really, really, really homogeneous and well combined. Season them here. Okay, so what you're looking for is a stream of eggs that falls right off your whisk, like in a very quick stream without there being like clumps of whites and yellows that have not yet been combined. So these are well combined eggs right here. We must char the tortillas first because the eggs cook so fast that by the time they're done in 30 seconds, then you're running around trying to char your tortillas and then your eggs get cold. So before you do anything else, turn your burners on, medium, and throw your tortillas on the flame, right onto the burner on the grate above it so that they're making direct contact. This is how we're gonna actually char the tortillas, and we're just gonna move them around. Sometimes they light on fire like this, no problem. You're kind of flipping them every like 15 seconds or so and moving them around so they make contact with the flame. So that they don't dry out and get cold, we'll throw them in a towel and just keep them warm while we scramble our eggs. So a general rule of thumb is that you need 1 tablespoon of butter for 2 eggs. So I just cracked 8 eggs, which means I'm gonna use 4 tablespoons of butter in the skillet, but I'm gonna wait till the skillet gets ripping hot before I add it. Okay. That's hot. That's a hot pan. Okay, we're melting, and now we're going straight in with the eggs. Immediately, you see they start to bubble up here and set, and we start making these like figure 8, kind of bringing the sides of the pan in and allowing the egg to refill where it was left. You can tilt, you can swirl, you can shimmy, you can shake. And look at all those beautiful big folds. And that's it. That's where we're gonna pull them off. So there they are, the hot, fast, dirty, softest ever scrambled eggs. So we have our warm torts, and we're just gonna lay them all out. This one's beautiful, look at that. Look at those little fluffers, fluffer nutters. And then we just salsa on each one. Limes. And then you just top each one with some crispy fried pepitas. Okay, should we eat some breakfast tacos?
Let's eat some breakfast tacos.
I'm hungry. They're juicy. There's crunchy and they're soft, and that's like one of the great texture combinations of food and something that we seek a lot, but you often don't find in breakfast tacos, which is why we added the fried pepitas to the top. So soft, so moist, so supple, so quick. This is a recipe from the book. It is called Breakfast Tacos with Charred. This is the wrong version of the book.